Dr. Kemi Lawrence, it's Monday, the 28th of October, 2024. Let's talk about Alex Ikwechegh, the Abia State House of Reps member who assaulted the boat driver in Abuja last night. There were a few things I saw that I really want to treat in this story. First of all, this has happened to me before, but I didn't assault anyone. There was an issue with coming into the house with a delivery. Now, if you know boat drivers very well, they're not supposed to even come out of their car. Have you ever taken a boat from a mall or a supermarket and you got to your house? They're not going to take your groceries upstairs for you. You have to be responsible for that. Your gate man or your loved ones should come down and get your groceries. Even though I am an elderly person, I'm going to give you an example of something that happened in Ghana to me. Now, most of you know I was in Ghana the whole of March for the African Games with one of my clients. I do PR for sports athletes in Eritrea, so I was there. Everybody saw the pictures, everything we did there. In that month that we're in Ghana, I ordered breakfast from a very trendy London restaurant, Shoreditch, which was in Accra. I wanted that Shoreditch breakfast, and it was in the morning, and I asked for it, and a Bolt rider came, not with a car, with a bike. When that rider came, I told him to come upstairs, okay, because we were upstairs and there's a step that leads to the upstairs apartment, okay, and the people downstairs. However, the rider stood outside and said he can't come upstairs. The reason why I asked him to come upstairs was because of my leg. Everybody knows that I'm battling an injury and, surgery on my leg, and I've had it for like 4 years now. So it's very hard for me to go down the steps, up, and all that. Now, in that very same apartment in Ghana, we also had KFC and all kinds of delivery. When they came with the Bolt's bike, they always came upstairs. We'll come out on the balcony and say, just come over here. And they'll just climb the step and give us the food and we'll tip them, whatnot. So I'm used to that. Okay, so there was this one rider that said he was not coming. I don't go upstairs. I said, you're just coming to the door. I have a leg injury. Now, it's even worse because we have it in the app. You can put notes in the app. Please come upstairs, elderly lady. And that's what happened. He refused to bring the food and he was like, boom, looking at me, and I was yelling, can you please just give me my food? I've paid for it. My client was not in the Airbnb. So I was alone. Worst comes to the worst. Drop that food on the ground. I'll come and get it myself. But there were two dogs in that, building, and they can get that food real fast. So let's get back to Alex Ikwechegh. This is what I want to talk about. Even if the rider can't come. How did I solve my own? I called not Bolt, but the store. And I told the store I'm coming there to get my money back because the Bolt rider would not give me the food. At the end of the day, he left with the food. I went to the store and I collected my money. Okay, luckily the store was in the area. And that's how it ended. Only to find out in the store that the owner of the store, who masked himself as the manager or assistant manager, was actually watching the whole thing. He was also living in the complex where the Airbnb was. He now called me into his office and told me what happened, and he saw it, and he's going to, deal with Bolt, blah, blah. This is our first week using Bolt for deliveries, and this was really bad. I was just like looking at you when you shouted out the balcony, can you come upstairs? And he saw the bag the Bolt rider was holding, and it's my restaurant. So it's a small world. Alex, back to you. The Inspector General of Police should actually investigate this case, arrest Alex, give him bail, let him go to the courts, because we have a case of assault, battery, terroristic threats, and 3 charges alone could get Alex maybe 6 months to a year in prison. I don't know the Nigerian one. I just gave you the American or the Canadian one. 6 months to a year in prison. If that boat driver ever complains of any kind of injury or any kind of pains on his face or anything, then they can go to civil court. And I think the driver should actually sue him for damages. The damages are not just going to be physical damages from the striking, but also emotional damages. Pain and suffering, emotional damages, PTSD. There's a lot going on when you slap someone. Because that rider or that driver may wake up the next day and say, I'm not going to work. I'm scared. Somebody will slap me today. That's post-traumatic stress disorder. I have PTSD, I know, and I've been battling it for 7 years since the BME case. It's very hard, and I'm at 50% recovery. People like that usually have the post-traumatic stress. All of you making fun of PTSD, you better know what it's about because you may be next. Now, let's talk about the assault and battery. If you just slap anybody anyhow, you can't do it in America, Canada, or UK. You can only do it in Nigeria as a federal lawmaker. If you're a lawmaker in those countries I mentioned, you already stepped down the next day. So that's why I'm asking, Alex, you need to step down, call for a new election. Somebody else has to represent your area. You've disgraced your area, you've disgraced yourself, all because of what? Snails? Imagine if this ran in an American newspaper. Americans don't like snails to start with. They kill them in Florida. It's a pest. And you are slapping somebody. What if the guy has a hemorrhage and blood flows into his brain and he dies? What do? You threaten him. That's the terroristic threat. You said you can make him disappear and nothing would happen. We've heard that line from politicians a lot. Nothing will happen. Remember, guys, what I always tell you? Politicians will make it look like an accident. In Nigeria, they'll kill you, they make it look like an accident. Nothing will happen. Well, something's going to happen if Ikwechegh doesn't do anything. Okay, Dr. Ikwechegh must treat this case accordingly. The lawmaker must be charged, booked, and given bail, and then he has to show up in court. This is not going to work. This is not going to flow because this is giving everybody else the authority to do this. So you can't make anybody disappear and nothing will happen. How many people have you made disappear already? How many people have you killed? Then he also disclosed something. Just like the Bobrisky case, you know how they go expose their own can of worms? You actually told this Bolt driver that you don't even want to get your cops to beat him. This is the reason why the IGPs will come year after year and they'll tell the public, we're removing VIP cops. We're removing cops from VIP because you're using them for abuse. Some of you are abusing those cops. Some of you are using them for abuse. So you've always had your cops beat people. I won't have my police officer beat you. I will beat you myself. That is uncalled for. That's misuse of federal, state, and taxpayer money. Okay, using your cops to assault a member of the public. Do you know what state that guy is from? We don't even know this guy's name. I don't know. I have to check VDM's page. VDM may have found out who the guy is and everything. Do you know what state he's from? What if it was from your state? Alex, Abia State. Then you're really cooked. Enough of this nonsense in Nigeria. It's called impunity, and it's not going to work. We cannot continue this kind of stuff. So the IGP must dig into this case, must treat this case. I don't care. I'm outside Nigeria. I'm following this case closely. I'm an investigative journalist. And I will always brag about that. 30 years. I'm not letting this go. Alex Ikwechegh, you are everywhere and you're screwed right now. This news has gone overseas. I'm overseas. I heard it. And what time is it in Nigeria? And I should be, let me see my time difference. 12:31. Afternoon, lunchtime in Nigeria. It's gone everywhere. You don't think because you feel you're a lawmaker and you're big. What happens now, Alex, when you go to the UK embassy and they charge you with assault and battery and terroristic threats? They're going to see that. Have you ever been arrested? Yes. Describe in full. You will have to describe that part in full now. No diplomatic visas. You will have to describe what was that arrest. Then you put assault and battery. Are they going to give you a visa? No. I don't know about the British so much as the Canadians and the Americans. You're not going to be going anywhere regardless. Because they're going to think you're going to assault and batter somebody in their country. What's the chance that you go to America, you're inside your apartment, you order food, food is late, and you're screaming at the Lyft, not Lyft, at the DoorDash guy. DoorDash is like Jumia food, Bolt food. And you're shouting at the DoorDash guy. You think they're going to wait and see you slap them? No. You're going to go with the police, Alex. Stop this nonsense. You can only get away with this crap in Nigeria. To my fans, don't forget, it's Monday again. Donate. We're doing 250 Naira today. Donate to DKL Journalism Fund. Okay? Dr. Kemi Lawrence Journalism Fund. First Bank, 2007-477-948. It's the poor Nigerians that are donating, and I love you for that because you will reap from the good things you sow into my journalism brand. But this is my opinion. Thank you.